what about if Donald Trump does indeed try to pursue a third term? Wouldn't that be the mother of all constitutional crises?
If he attempted to serve a third term, I think it would further splinter the country. Or it would cause his base to actually ask themselves, do they really want a democracy? Or did they always want a king? And they were just waiting for the right one. What's taking place in this country is what the framers of our Constitution feared in 1787 when they drafted the Constitution. They feared that the power of the federal government and both houses would be used against the people. And that's what's happening right now. And so the people then are trying to find some leverage, and so their voices can be heard, and to put a stop to this press of executive power well beyond what is stated in the Constitution. For the president to continue to write executive orders and sign them, legislating the closure of the Department of Education, the creation of something called DOGE that is going to oversee the rest of the government. I mean, it's a utopian state in a way that you can think. Dystopian from the fact that nobody actually thought this could happen to this extent. But if you think about what Donald Trump has said all along, he did not believe that he should be controlled by the U.S. Constitution. And so that means we're going to have these constitutional crises. The last point that you made, I think, is so important. How will the people react? The lawyers have already capitulated. The judges are afraid of impeachment. So it's going to be the people. And will this then erupt into what could be a civil war?
Well, do you think it is that serious that we could talk about this becoming the beginning of a civil war in the United States? I mean, that's a serious claim to make. Do you see that in the making?
What I see in the making is that you have a country where there are more guns than people. You have voices that are not being heard. Right now, the last one of the last executive orders the president signed was around voter suppression and the elections. So he's already working on suppressing the vote for the upcoming midterm elections. We don't know if people are going to be laid off from the government. There's a lot of anger that's building up, and fear and concern that not only Elon Musk and Donald Trump have taken over our government, but we have no voice because the Democratic politicians can't seem to get their house in order. So at this point, what people have been doing is protesting, and the protests have been small. But as these cuts in jobs and as prices rise and then the tariffs begin to take effect, I think people are going to take to the streets more and more.